Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's the conclusion of today's episode number 17 of Roll20 Presents The Burning Wheel. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking around. Let's see what's going on. So, Agata, I would like to start with you. I think I want to get an Agata. And a Lodwick scene to fill out the episode. So, Agata, you have been shunted back to the prison of darkness, and I think that you just get left alone for a long time. So you have that time if there's anything you would like to do with it. I mean, you're alone, but the spirits of shadow are around you at all times. What do you want to do?
I mean, if they're such big fans of me, maybe I will act on my third belief here and try to get them to reveal unto me what is going on elsewhere in the cathedral or whatever, the prison, whatever bullshit.
Wherever the fuck you are.
Yeah, I kind of want to know what else, what other people are doing alone in their rooms, in the hopes that maybe that will give me some helpful information.
Okay. All right. So you're going to reach out to the spirits?
Yeah, see if they can help me spy on.
Okay. Now remember, there is that whole obscure, a spirit bound to reveal will later obscure.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's okay. That's
my options are just intensely limited, Adam. I basically just need to keep trying to pass the health test to kick one die of injury so that I can do slightly better on my test, so that I can maybe succeed.
Okay. Well, I think these spirits are more about keeping you down here rather than messing with what you're learning. So I think that they're not going to interfere on this test, but test to get you out of this place. That's what they're interested in messing with. So, so you can extend your senses out into the castle by way of these spirits. So it's an op three test. And what do you want the spirits to tell you? Just about your situation, kind of like an establishing shot that Agata gets to see.
Yeah, okay. I'm curious about my captors and stuff, and I can't see them directly.
Yeah.
But maybe the spirits can watch them and tell me about who they are and what they look like, and I want some dirt. I want some dirt on my captors. I want to know who's in bed with who, that I could maybe, I want to know what's going on. I want some leverage. That's what I want.
What do you consider leverage?
So yeah, someone who I can compromise and get on my side through either blackmail or, that kind of thing, where it's I want to get someone in my pocket by way of information.
Yeah, and remember, you have art magic too, so if you want to give someone a trait like doubtful or that kind of thing, that's certainly possible as well.
Yeah, so with my art magic, I can give people traits or suppress traits we discussed, and then turn people into things, or Arcane Knowledge is my other one, so I can pull information out of the ether.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly review.
Which is different from spirits telling you those things.
No, it's very different. I think it gives me wises.
Yes, it allows you to temporarily have a wise, I think. Arcane Knowledge. Proxy. Sorcerer becomes a proxy for any academic skill in the skill list.
Right. So it's specifically academic skills. So I don't think that's going to be super helpful here.
No.
Well,
that'd be awesome if that was a real thing. Having one skill that just stands in for anything. You're basically just fucking Wikipedia. Someone is like, yo, wizard, can you fix my car? And you're like, I could do anything. I know how to do it.
I know everything there is to know about cars.
That's right. It's great.
They'll come in handy later when I need to know how guns work. I'll become an expert engineer.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to summon the spirits of shadow and see if they will reveal the secrets of some of the other people that dwell in this place? Or
I do literally have a belief about that, so it would be
that
foolish
seems
of
like
me
a
not to
smart move.
do it.
Okay.
Wouldn't make sense for me not to. So yeah, I'm gonna see if they can provide me with some information so that I'm not completely in the dark. And yeah, specifically, I would like to know the like someone's like uncomfortable secret that I can use against them. Ideally, either Miss the Nun or Mr. Clutchy Hands McCreepazoid.
Okay.
Because
Both
surely,
great names.
they've got some bad stuff that they're up to. But first, Adam, I must grit my teeth.
That's right.
So again, this OB4 health test.
I need to come up with some kind of like. Can you give me the page number for that grit your teeth situation?
Yeah, it doesn't like. So it's on page 497.
Okay.
Under shrugging it off, it's the second entry, gritting your teeth.
Right. May temporarily shrug it off. Blah blah blah. OB4 health test. A character incapacitated may attempt to shrug off one and stagger your feet once. Lasts until the scene is over. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like
Toughen it
it's
out.
an outlet for what is otherwise an incredibly punishing system around injury.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got to keep trying, and maybe I get lucky like here. So I'll spend a fate.
Yeah.
And see if I can get. Okay, I fucking did it. Holy shit. I get to ignore one.
Yes.
One wound.
One wound penalty. Yep.
So I'm just going to handle this by giving myself an extra fork to compensate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to take my time with the spirit binding test because you said I have a bunch of time.
Yeah, I believe that you do.
So we're going to make it slow. And spirit binding doesn't take a long time. Cercination takes a longest time, but spirit binding itself
takes
does
hours.
So taking my time gets me an extra die.
Okay.
I'm going to fork astrology, and that's the limit of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so essentially I get to roll 5 dice here. Is this another like OB3 reveal?
Yeah, reveal unto me. Yep.
Reveal unto me. Okay, but this one is actually being revealed to me specifically. Yeah. All right, let's try. Let's see.
As opposed to reveal unto thee. You can reroll one of those if you want to spend a fate point.
Let me roll my astrology die first.
That's right. Yes. Hey, there you go.
Sick. There we go. So I do it, but I will spend fate because right now I'm suffering strength 3 retribution from this as well.
Correct.
So let's roll a d6. No.
All right. I'm going to just start tracking the retribution right under your fate pool here. So
yeah.
So obscure 5.
And then another obscure at 3 that is very soundly directed at me.
Yeah. And then there we go. I'm going to change the color. We'll make this gray because that's spookier. Okay. All right.
And yeah, they get to do that thing one time.
Yeah.
They affect one test, and then away they go.
So yeah, in the swirling shadows, you get your kind of like eagle vision or like detective sight version of the way the spirits see the world, right? This high like chiaroscuro shadows and light, light sources are brilliant and white. Everything else is shades of gray, and you go looking for the secrets of the acolytes above you. So the place that they are.
Oh, actually, Adam, sorry, I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot that I have a spirit mark for shadow.
All right.
Okay, it doesn't fucking do anything, but
Okay.
could have reduced the thing a little. Anyways,
so the place you were being held under, I don't think we ever specifically said this one, but I have a thought. So I don't know that it would be like Like it was it's tied to like the church, and fell out of use at the death of God, because it was used predominantly as like a ceremonial space. It's not a church itself. It's not like a cathedral, but it is a place built for like performance, for like religious musical performance. So above there is a space shaped for like there's a stage and then places for people to sit. I think that it has fallen into disrepair. Right, the roof is caved in places, so there's drifts of snow and what have you. But below this is a sort of archive of where they would keep songbooks, scrolls of music, that sort of thing. Um, and then below that has been repurposed for living. So there are people who this cult or whatever, this society, this order that is formed, lives underneath this abandoned recital hall, basically. And you've been secreted away in a former storage room that is now locked up. Above, the spirits show that your captors, your keepers, are few in number, at least the ones that are staying here with you. You see a conversation between three men who you can tell are, by their features, all related.
Mm.
Maybe distant cousins, uncles, that sort of thing. Um, there is a man who the spirits see as, again, I think it's all kind of hazy, right? Like this isn't just like you get to see like snapshots of these things. There's a tall, thin man that you recognize as the one who was like manhandling you, um, and his skin is glowing with a faint sort of bluish light from his tattoos, and you can see them through his outfit. Like he's got robes, and you can see this glow sort of through that. Another man has a sort of toadying effect, who is nearby, and who is like shifting nervously. And there's a third younger man, who you get the impression doesn't like belong here. He's like a visitor in this place, but has come to speak to these two, his relatives, and they're having a conversation that the shadows don't deign to inform you about. Um,
Hmm. And so that's what Robillard, Miro's uncle, and then some stranger. If
yes,
I'm
if
just
if
me,
the,
the
you
player, reading this correctly, so I
mhm,
can
could be,
imagine.
yeah, could be.
Cool.
And then yeah, and then you see a handful of other folks, who are in the other parts. There's maybe like a dozen people total. Um, and the sort of other members of the order are at work, either copying or working in a like a scribarium, right? Like a room full of books and stuff, and they're copying or researching or something. They're like scribes. But this
Hmm.
room also has, I think that singing is the thing. So they wouldn't have like musical instruments. Um, so there's like, yeah, they're working at these songbooks. Um, and then there are a group of like maybe a monk and a couple of nuns, one of which is familiar to you. Um, and I think the thing that the spirits reveal to you, the weakness or whatever, the vulnerability you were looking for, is that the nun, who I think you caught her name as Sufferance. It's obviously
Hmm.
not her name, but Sister Sufferance. Um, she is in her room, her little cell, right? And there's her bed and her like holy book of songs. And while I think she's in her room, like absently doing something else, like maybe like tidying or something, like folding her sheets over her bed and like putting things away. And she's like a young, like this isn't like a mother superior type person. This is like a
Hmm.
youngish like nun. Um, and she is humming a song that is familiar to you. It's a song of the like people of the woods. It is a song that a mother would pass on to her daughter. It's like a family song, and yeah, and that's the weakness they reveal to you. There's no way that she would like just casually have stumbled across this. It's not something that's recorded anywhere else.
Yeah, so she is
Because
like
people of the woods can't
from the
write.
woods.
Yeah, or her mother is, or like you don't. I mean, you don't know. I'm not
She
giving you
is
all the
connected
information.
to an oral tradition
Yes.
of yeah, okay.
Yeah. And among a group of people whose religion seems so tied to song, the song that she is at, and you can tell she's not doing this on purpose. She's not like, I love this song, I'm gonna hum it. It's just like she probably doesn't even realize she's doing it.
Yeah, it's just like a habitual thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
There you go.
Okay. And I think we come back to like Agata's, really like totally worked, cracked voice because she's being like starved in a prison cell, humming the same tune,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of idly, and then like chuckling again with her like horribly cracked and ruined voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's probably good. Like you'll get a chance to interact with her, but it wouldn't be right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like the next time I see her,
Yeah.
there's gonna be we're gonna have some shit to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. So meanwhile, above ground, Ludwig, what are you up to?
What am I up to? So I've been nice and friendly, but I've not secured any kind of deal. It occurs to me I've not really been using everything I have at my disposal to try and get these. I should be asking for help with finding these people because I have a bunch of relationships I've bought, so I should be getting help off those people.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know anybody who knows him better than me so that I can get them to sort out the deal on my behalf and end up paying for it?
I mean, for your relationships, obviously Charlotte knows this guy, right? Charlotte is a woman of wealth and taste, and if he's the guy that has the best wine in town, you know Charlotte's all over that biz. Don't grumble at me. You invented her.
I know. I liked spending the points at the time.
You don't have to roll circles to access her. She's just there. She's just like she'll hang out with you.
All right. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna speak to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You want to go to her estate?
Yes, I will pay her a visit.
Excellent. Okay.
I'll send a message ahead of time.
Sure. Okay. So we see you just to remind everybody in chat and in the at the table. Your relationship with Charlotte Vandenberg is let's see, she's a not family, hateful, romantic minor relationship. That's that one?
Sounds great.
Yep.
And hateful in the sense of your intense business rivals. Like the two of you are top contenders for being in charge of the Seat of Silver.
Yes.
And so you go to visit her on a polite visit in the afternoon. The following day, it's a clear but icy day, and her estate when you arrive is a thing of beauty. She bought an old like noble house some years ago, and then invested a ton of money in making it like really nice and fancy.
That's tacky.
The house is lovely, and like it has this
your house.
It has this like it belongs here kind of feeling. And so when you arrive, her servants welcome you, and they bring you to the house. And I think that Charlotte meets you at the door, right? She's busy, but like, you sent ahead, and so she's there as you're getting the servants are taking your coat, and we see her. What do you have a clear like mental image of what she looks like?
No,
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking too. So the two of you are from the same place.
we are. Yep.
Let me see.
So she's stocky.
Mm-hmm.
Can she just be played by the dude's commanding officer from Blade Runner? Can it just be that actress? 'Cause
Robin,
she's so hot.
Robin Wright.
I'm just putting it out there.
Robin
Robin
Wright is
Wright.
not.
Good, stern
Robin Wright is
business
the
lady.
opposite of stocky, though.
She's not stocky.
She's
though.
not
It's true.
stocky.
I was thinking the actress that John had play Frankie in what was her name in Battlestar? But
Oh,
she's not
yeah.
stocky either. I mean, finding actors. We're running into
Actresses
a
who are
cultural
stocky is a
barricade.
difficult thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, running into a human world cultural barricade here, but yeah. Okay, well we can do some research, but so she I think she has dark hair. She probably has it like shoulder length. She dresses probably like a bit similar to the Lady Treasurer, but more in dark colors, less like pale, like powdery colors, and more like rich, like crimson and like dark brown, like chocolate. And she's dressed nicely, and her wealth is subtle, right? Like the things that she wears don't immediately jump out to you as being like, this is super expensive, but they are all like handmade for her out of the best materials, and there's a subtlety to her effect.
Yeah, this is something that we have in common.
Yes, yeah, totally.
Except her house is obviously like much more than mine is.
Yeah.
She spent a lot more resource points on her own house.
Yeah, exactly. So when you arrive, she smiles, and does she have like another name? What does she address you as? Like, you're on first name basis, obviously, but does she call you? Do you have like, is there a nickname, or does she just call you Lodwick?
She calls me Vic.
Ah, excellent. So when she sees you, she smiles, and she says, "Ha, Vic, so good to see you. You've been so busy of late and haven't come to see me. I thought I would die wasting away here all alone."
Oh my good Lady Vanderberg, there's not enough time in the week for as much as I would like to spend with you, but business is business.
And she laughs, and she says, "You need to take a vacation." And she like pokes you in the shoulder. She says, "We could go west. The inner sea is lovely this time of year." And then she looks out the door as the servant is closing it, and she's like, "Whatever the hell time of year it's supposed to be. I swear, they told me when I moved here that it was only winter in the winter. And here we are. It's been 6 months. Can you believe it?"
I most definitely cannot. I've been here much longer than you, and this is the first. Oh, whenever this is supposed to be that I've seen.
She sighs and shakes her head, and she says, we suffer. We suffer so that we can make money, so that I suppose when we are old and infirm, we can enjoy it. I could use some enjoyment about now, but I don't think that's why you came.
All the time I spend with you is, of course, time of enjoyment. Though I must confess there was some other motives, though I would not turn down some relaxation while we have the opportunity. I've been very busy dealing with God, I've already forgotten his name.
Some
Cyril.
douchebag. Cyril Sissa.
Mr. Sissa earlier, and what was supposed to be a relaxing evening there was, you know how he is.
She nods and she says, "That's why I buy from him in bulk. I only have to see him once a year." And she says, "But Vic, I have to be honest. I've laid a bit of a trap for you. I have someone I want you to meet. We've been speaking in the parlor. Come, come. And she turns and starts to walk away from you.
And I look at Oberyn and I'm like, I might need you today. And then I like laugh because she said trap, obviously, but this is more like a social thing. But I'm just like, God, here we go. Always like this.
Surprise. Yeah, he just gives you a nod like, aye, sir. I'm ready for anything. And she's stopped at the parlor and she looks past you at Oberyn and she's like, don't worry, he's not in any danger. Not from me anyway. And she like grins at him. And she says, Vic, come on, you're being rude. And she walks into the other room.
Yeah, I'll follow her in and I'll take off my stupid hat and my stupid puffy jacket or whatever I've got on.
Yeah, your Flemish painting outfit.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you walk into the parlor, which is again like a finely appointed room that both retains an element of the kind of noble sternness of a house of Carpathia, but has been modernized with lots of like light wood furniture and some comfortable chairs. And sitting at the table nearest to a nice roaring fire is I don't want to make a judgment for you, Ludwig, but certainly for Oberyn, one of the most beautiful women he has ever seen in his entire, albeit short, life. She has skin that is like a light like olive brown. She has this like long, beautiful black hair. She's wearing a gown, like a dress, beaded with little topazes along the neckline, and is this like deep like orange color. And she smiles and stands and the Lady Vandrix, she puts her hands up and she shakes her head and she says, "Oh, Lady Volpe, no need to stand. This is just an old friend of mine, the one I was telling you about, Lodowick, the Lady Tabitha Volpe." And Tabitha smiles and like bows her head a little and she says, "Charmed, I'm sure. Come, have a seat." And she gestures to an empty seat.
Yeah, for a second, he's caught between the, wow, I should do the noble thing. She's incredibly attractive, and I'm actually kind of like with this other woman, so like, which etiquette do I follow? And then just decides to smile, do a bow, and sit down.
Okay, so you sit, and yeah, you notice there's a mostly empty crystal wine decanter on the table and a couple of silver wine goblets, and yeah, and so you go to sit, and I think that that Charlotte says, Tabitha and I were just enjoying the fruits of, well, last year's labors. And she turns to Tabitha and says, Lady Volpe, the wine we've been drinking, the merchant who I purchased it from is an old acquaintance of Lodewig's and I. Lodewig was just out entertaining him last night, weren't you?
No, it was. And how very eventful the night was, I must say.
And,
Though the specific details, I'm sure I can't divulge in present company, I'm afraid.
And she laughs. Charlotte laughs and says, well, it's in your best interest to keep these sorts of things secret. Shrewd businessman and everything. Lodovic and I are both members of the same organization. The Seeds of Silver take all kinds. Have you sat down?
Yes.
Okay. A servant pours you, I guess, the rest of the wine.
That's fine.
And yeah, and so they sit down and they say, Lodovic, I wanted to introduce you to Tabitha because I heard that you've been. She says, I heard from a little bird that you've been doing some business with the nobility, or maybe I heard that you were doing business with a little bird. How did that go? And then she like leaves it open for you to like tell them what you've been up to. She's like, I busted you. I know what you're up to. Talk about it.
God, how do I?
How is it that
handle
everybody
this?
around here knows my business?
Yeah, I didn't keep it an entire secret, and she probably would know anyway. She's already probably got someone at court who heard the meeting.
Oh yeah, she got spies.
She's more shrewd than I am. So what do I say? I say, oh yes, it's a real shame what happened at the castle. I've been doing what I can to try and keep the court's lives comfortable, help them transition into a new space, this sort of thing. It's
You can
stability of the region, important for ongoing trade.
Tabitha says, stability. Precisely. My brother and I have spoken at some length about whether or not to stay here. Carpathia has taken a dark turn, and well, I'm frankly not sure it's safe anymore. Now, my brother disagrees. He's been talking about an expedition to the castle, retrieve the crown jewel. He's an old friend of the king and has a soft heart for all of his bluster. I think that we should leave. But Miss Vanderberg and I have been discussing a business proposal.
Interesting. Well, my eyes are always open for information of that sort, and well, if you do decide upon this most gallant and chivalrous course of action, or your brother does at least, then I'd be most happy to talk to him. I kept most of the garrison stocked for the last few years personally.
She smiles and says, I had hoped that you would say something like that. My brother is brave, which I suppose is a polite way of saying foolhardy. I don't want him hurt. He's all that I have in the world. I was hoping that you could introduce me to some mercenaries. And we have some funds, and Ms. Vanderberg has offered to assist us in this endeavor. But I think that if we were to bring in some armed men, we could achieve what Soren is after without endangering his life directly. I think it's of utmost importance that we reclaim the castle. The king belongs at home.
No, this makes perfect sense. It's something I would like seen done as well. Yes, I might well be able to help you. Which wise would I test to make it so that my introduction of like these very early firearm troops be a secret, not something that people know about generally?
That you so like I don't think that you, because you didn't buy them as characters. You didn't you don't directly have any control over them, but I think that your coming here is part of why they're around.
Okay, so it's unlikely to be a thing that makes I have.
You could circles up like some mercenaries, right? Like a mercenary captain whose team has these like weapons and stuff, but that would be a whole other thing.
Okay. Yes, we could most certainly see about introducing you to some people. I must confess, I'm a little distracted. This was most certainly not what I had in mind upon visiting my good friend here.
And Charlotte just looks at you like she loves watching you flounder a little.
I don't have the right ledgers at all. I have the.
Tabitha puts her hands up and she says, "My brother has contacts in the military, but they're all fighting the war, and well, who knows how that's going to go. Did you know that some of the kingdoms to the west have recalled their troops? Coming home to secure... And she shakes her head like she doesn't like the idea of giving up on the war. And she says, I had hoped that if we would be able to return the king to his throne, that he might not have similar ideas, that we can show that Carpathia has stability, that there is a reason not to overreact. I don't want to downplay the charitable work that Lady Corvidae has done, but it's just simply not appropriate any longer. And she's had her time, entertained court long enough. We need your help.
I don't have any. I'm thinking out loud. Yes, though Lady Corvidae has been doing her utmost to keep a court of sorts. I must confess, I've been working to bring it more in line with how I believe it ought to be. We see similarly on this.
She nods. She says, despite all of the things that have happened in our kingdom, there is a way that things should go. And the Lady Corvidae has done all that she can with what she has, but she's not the queen. And the Corvidae estate is not the court. The sooner we can put the king back in his home, the better. So she says to you, and to Charlotte, she says, Charlotte has assured me that speaking to you about this will remain in confidence. It would be destabilizing, I think, if word were to get out that we were seeking foreign swords to reclaim national treasures.
Oh, I could certainly keep this between us. Yes, if we work together on this and a few other matters, then I'm sure we could remain in this together for the most part.
Yeah, she smiles and she says, now I understand that you are folks of business. I've spoken with other members of the Queen's inner circle, and I assure you we are all a unified voice in this matter. My agents in the court have told me that if we're able to reclaim the castle, she nods like to reassure you, there would be a reward, a substantial reward in it for the two of you, and future contracts with the court. This is a lucrative opportunity, I assure you. I'm not well versed in this world, but I'm sure that if we can succeed, we will all succeed together.
Yes, this is a most interesting proposal that you've brought up today. One I was not expecting for sure, though I see no reason why we can't work together on this. As you say, the stability that restoring the king to his proper place would bring is surely of benefit to all of its citizens.
So she smiles as you're saying this and stands, and she says to Charlotte, she says, "Thank you so much, Charlotte, for this introduction. I hope to speak to both of you again soon. I must away. I have a very busy day ahead of me, but thank you both so much." And she says to you, she says, I'll have a servant come to your home and let you know where you can reach me. I think she probably like tells you, like, I guess she has a place to live that isn't the kingdom and isn't the castle. So she tells you, like, we've an estate on the south part of the city. You can find us there. And she like curtsies to the two of you, and she gives you this like practiced, like, I know I'm gorgeous, let me show off how pretty I am to you, like, smile that conveys gratitude and like tries to make you feel like her gratitude is like the best thing you could possibly have. Like you want her to think that you're awesome and to be thankful to you.
This is not something that doesn't work on Lodovec. It's why he has so many romantic relationships that are also about
right. Yeah, you're susceptible to this shit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so she like curtsies, and she does that thing where her eyes linger on you just a little longer than anyone else, and then she takes her leave. And that leaves Charlotte walks out with her to like, out of the room. And then turns back to you, and she's grinning this just shit-eating grin. What do you say anything, or do you let her have the first word once the two of you are alone? I mean, alone. Oberon is there, but
I do believe this is my first taste of courtly intrigue, something I never thought that I'd be involved in personally.
She laughs. So she laughs and she says, "Oh, your first taste? Hardly. I think this is seconds. What were you doing at the court? Talking to Lady Alessandra, was it? I understand she's no longer in a place to be married, so it couldn't have been that."
Oh no, it was as old friends. I was on some list somewhere as a potential. That didn't end up happening, but we did get to know each other fairly well. It was just making sure that the nobles were comfortable, making sure that she was supplied.
Yeah, so she says, "So charitable of you. Such a sweetheart." And
he puts up his hand and he says, "You know how I feel about that."
And she
It's
laughs.
like, charity helps for the once, building the opportunities for them to help themselves. And that's why we're merchants.
And she grins and says, "Right. Fish for a man, you'll feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll feed himself forever. I'd rather buy a boat." And she like grins at you and looks back over the carafe, and she says,
Yeah, I think he says something along the lines of, "I knew there was a reason that I liked you."
yeah, and she says, "Help me finish this wine, and you can tell me why you're really here."
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So the two of you head over to the table and talk and drink wine. And so, yeah, what do you want to get out of your meeting with her?
So what I want to do is, well, I did have my original intention was, of course, to get her help finding suppliers, but now I'm not necessarily looking to do that anymore.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's more like the stability of the kingdom is way more important than like propping up one noble.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense to go with the plan that seems like it's gonna bring stability back. Like she said, there's no reason for me to disagree with her.
Yeah. Hire a bunch of foreign mercenaries, get them to go and pillage the castle, and then you'll be a hero, and the kingdom will be stabilized. And put the king back on his throne.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be that you and Charlotte don't actually end up talking about that again, right? Like she was like, "This is a business opportunity. Like we can fund these mercenaries. We can hire some adventurers to go and do these things." But she's also like, it worked. Like you came here and you saw Tabitha and you see the opportunity, and maybe the two of you will work together. Maybe not. But she's totally willing for the rest of this visit to be purely social. She's just like, "I did my business for today. I'm done. So if you want anything, you'll have to like ask for it or push the conversation in that direction." But maybe it's not.
I only have one question really for you, Charlotte. What's with the noble angle for you? I always suspected that, well, we don't need her for this particular venture, were we to do it ourselves, back anyone, what is it about this Miss Lady Volpe that makes you think she's the right one to take the glory for this, so to speak?
Weren't you listening? Her brother's a war hero, a decorated war hero at that, and well known. They're going to end this war, you know, with Stygia.
Well, of course. There was
All the kingdoms are calling back their armies. It's only a matter of time before the king here realizes it too. And it's a long march from Stygia. But if we've got a war hero in our pocket, when the army comes back, I have to tell you, Ludwig, I don't think the king is long for it. Power, I mean. Men like that is unstable.
it's been very difficult. The people have been despondent with the loss of their god. This land particularly, I'd never quite realized how attached they were to this concept.
She nods.
As far as I can tell, nothing's changed, and yet everything's changed.
They've gone to war more than once over something they can't touch. I like a god that I can, and she holds up her glass like, that I can taste, that I paid for. She drinks some of it, and she says, listen, we're going to need to make a move. Things are going to become unstable, and if the army returns, I want to make sure we've got a war hero in our pocket. The Volpe are a good angle on this.
Soldiers with no war. Not
She
good
nods
custom.
like, yeah, that's a problem. Like,
No, this is very smart of you. I'd be more than happy to work with you on this. I know we've had our differences on this, but I can only see this benefiting the people.
she nods, yes, precisely, the people.
And I'm just like, come on, this is a thing that we disagree on.
Right,
all the
you've
time.
had this argument before where you're like, capitalism is of the greatest benefit to everybody because it gives everyone an opportunity. And she's just like, capitalism is the best benefit to me because, like, fuck the peasants. They give me labor. Yeah. So she says, I'm just laying foundations. I think that even if the nobility evaporates when the sun finally comes out, they're going to leave some things behind, and I would like to have a hand in those things. And she gestures at her house. She says, I think I'm due for an upgrade anyway. Castle's awfully nice. She like winks at you.
Well, it certainly is very lovely, what with the perpetual sheet of ice and the sun and the... Honestly, I've been considering hiring my own wizard. This entire thing, very strange.
I've been wondering where the Magus went. And that witch, they say, that ensorcelled the queen. I've never trucked into
Honestly-
myself. You know I don't trust these will workers, but she shrugs. The right tool for the right job.
Honestly, I can't tell whether she exists or existed at all.
She shakes her head. Ah, that's the best sort of witch, isn't it? A fairy tale. Something you can scare the children with.
Yes, well...
So if you, I want to give you an opportunity here. If you have a role you want to make, you can. But I also think that she just kind of like started this thing, and if you want to wait and like change some of your beliefs for next time, and then roll with that, because now you have another opportunity to lean into. You could just like, this could just be a social visit between the two of you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, is there a way I can start playing this into belief one instead? I mean, the loyalties of the group are divided. Convince them to side with me.
I figure the Seeds of Silver they're like the like any kind of like partisan organization. There's two sides. There's like a belief that The merchants are merchants because they're awesome and smart and good, and they deserve all the good shit. And everybody who is like, she's the like lawful evil side of it, being like, we're gonna do this because it's good for us. And then there are the people that are a little more idealistic that follow you that are like, yes, this benefits us, but it's not just about us; it's about everyone. That this system works for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think if nothing jumps forward, I think this is probably like an okay like scene, just the two of you, old friends, chatting about future endeavors.
Yeah, I want to I say, well, I suppose despite the court moving on, there's some value. Well, there's a contract in it, and I have to fulfill my obligations to. Though it was my original purpose in coming here to talk to you about fulfilling those needs for supplies. Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to not be. There's still money to be made. I just can't deal with the man. He has something against me. I don't know what it is.
She shakes her head and she says, I'm sure he's just jealous. He heard about us. You should see the way he acts around me. And she's like kidding, obviously, because it's a big secret. But she says, I can speak to him if you like.
I would very much appreciate it.
Okay.
I do have to keep.
I was gonna say let's have you persuade, because she's offered, but like if you roll the persuade, she'll do it and like actually be helpful. Otherwise, she will just mention your name as a way to get her own like some advantage for herself, and it will never actually get back to you.
Yeah, it might not be a thing I can ever get Persona for, just in case it. All right. Yes, I will try and persuade her to actually talk to him.
Okay.
By virtue of saying, I have appearances to come to maintain. I made this deal. We've already sorted it out. I'm already making money off it, but I have to see that they believe working with me has its perks. I need to.
Okay. So let's have you persuade.
Okay.
Her will is 5.
Yep. Her stats are probably exactly the same as mine.
Yeah, if I burn her, I'll just use the exact same life path you did.
Yeah.
Her bodyguard, Robrin.
Okay, let's put in merchant wise, qualities wise, and supplier wise. I mean, it's the same one I made with him, but she actually likes me. So.
Yes. Yeah, which is funny because it's the same mob, because he was lower will.
The same mob. And the same result. Oh,
same result. You got a 6 though.
So how did I do last time? Just looking now. Yeah, I did roll a 2.
Do you want to spend a fate?
Yeah, I'll spend a fate point. I need to work on persuasion anyway.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No,
so she basically just like soothing platitudes you. The two of you finish the wine. And
she knows all the best ways to distract me from talking about work.
Yeah,
basically.
Totally. Yeah.
So
she kind of just plays you like a fiddle, I think.
Yeah, I've already had like the wind taken out of my sails by like this doesn't. I don't hugely care about it anymore, so I don't make a big deal. And I've been caught off guard. And
but you have a lovely lunch with some wine that turns into like a dinner. Like you end up wasting the rest of the day just like hanging out, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
By hanging out. Do you mean?
I mean, we're gonna draw a curtain over that.
Wow,
So-
a real gentleman would never go into these
It's
specific
not
details.
gay stuff.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Not noble.
It's the second
Goes on
best.
and on about these sorts of
So, yeah,
Business people don't just try to seduce their friends willy-nilly for no reason.
this business, not business.
Except that Ludwig has like 4 relationships that are all.
Well, what's great about
Sexual.
Lodewijk is that I don't think any of these relationships are like his by choice. Like I think that like they are, obviously he's in them.
you
but-
have to. It
but
has
he's
to
not
will
but
really
he's
five,
not he's not the
though.
instigator of any of them, right? He's the opposite. Like I have a feeling that if Alessandra tried to seduce Lodewijk, it'd be really easy.
It would be
But his
incredible.
will, like, is your will really 5 though?
Right, but Dave as a player gets to do the say yes or roll dice, right? So
Yeah.
Dave could very easily just be like, it works. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I do it. You don't have to roll.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
like-
seduce someone who's already in tight with his pocket. I'm sorry.
You don't know that.
Yeah, what was
No.
great about that scene is that, and this happens in role playing games sometimes, where
Talking shit about me the whole time.
we assume that every NPC is just telling the truth all the time, when like
Yeah.
that's so rarely the case.
And besides,
Yeah.
the best
Still
way
talking
to
shit
keep
about-
him
I'm still
out
waiting
of
for
Tabitha's
Emilio
pocket
to
is to have him in
fucking-
yours.
Emilio loves you, Joy, secretly. He just doesn't know
Emilio,
it yet.
Emilio and I are gonna be best friends. He's
I-
gonna be my accomplice
I
throughout
hope
this
so.
whole game. Yeah, no.
There's gonna be the
My
scene where you try
favorite-
to kill the dude, you try to poison him, and it goes wrong, and Emilio saves you, but doesn't understand why. Like he's just like, "What am I doing? Why am I helping you?" Yeah,
My
I'm looking
favorite
forward
part
to
was that
telling
scene.
Emilio.
he's
Sorry.
He's gonna be the hateful ludist forever, though.
Oh, sorry.
He's the
yeah, go
tsundere
ahead.
ludist.
Go ahead.
Okay?
Yeah.
He's
It
not
was
hateful.
just as soon as you started describing the most beautiful women, I was like, okay, I already know.
I thought she was red
I'm
haired
just gonna,
though for some
I'm gonna
reason.
watch Blue Jay. Like, that's my opinion
it's
for this
Tabitha.
one.
Like when you described her hair as black, I was like, oh, that can't be Tabitha, because I thought they were like fox-like, red-haired for some reason.
No, Fox,
It's not me.
like they don't have Vulpine
for-
as a thing.
But for some reason, I thought that when they'd been
Yeah.
previously described,
No,
she had red
she pretty much
hair.
exclusively wears those colors. Like she's
Does the
always
queen have red hair?
she's almost always dressed in like saffron or
I don't think
amber.
anyone had red hair.
No,
It must have been her clothes then.
Yeah, I think it probably was. She was wearing one of those like lace medieval like hairnet things once with like rubies on it. I think that might have been it.
Maybe.
But
I just
this
like
is-
for some reason.
This is the funny thing about role playing games; they all just take place up in our mind, and you
Okay,
might
so
end
you
up
said
describing
black
it.
hair, and I was just like, nah, it's not Tabitha. And then you
sure.
said topaz, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, she's not. She hasn't been. There was a month, right? She's been doing shit too.
Yeah. The NPCs always have so much more time on their hands than I do to get around to things.
She spent a lot of time arguing with her brother about whether to leave town. Was the thing, but
I wanna see some more Soren. I'd like to talk to Soren. Not
Soren's like fucking ready for adventure. He's like,
Uh,
"Come on, I'll call all my buddies and we'll go to the castle and he'll
Raid the
die."
castle.
Old war buddies.
Yeah,
I'd like to
Yeah.
have an NPC not swoop me on one of my beliefs, but whatever.
yeah, it's my job to challenge you.
never gonna happen.
And plus, again, that whole lying NPC thing. Just because she says like, "Oh, the queen's inner circle is already all on my side."
I have to be super honest. Like, part of the reason why I want to see this happen is because I want a bunch of people to get killed by Miro.
Well, so what's the thing here too is I also am introducing the idea of like there's this stabilization destabilization thing happening where honestly, like if Lodewijk hires a mercenary company to show up in Carpathia, like
It's gonna be bad.
that's a serious business. That's a foreign army.
That's where if I die, I'm gonna play the mercenary.
totally.
That's my plan.
Member of the Grey Skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be super clear, Blue Jay, I haven't decided whether I'm actually going to work with them yet because I didn't have to roll anything.
Right.
I might just tell you that I've been contacted by them.
Yep.
I
I mean, we're swiftly approaching, military junta territory. So this could get interesting in a bunch of different ways.
Like,
Because
if we wanted to, we could take control of this entire thing like whenever we want because we got enough money to do it.
Charlotte, like if
It's
the other
interesting.
reason and the other thing is like, why would Charlotte bring Lodewijk into this, right? Why wouldn't she just hire the mercenaries? Like what's that? What's the play?
I'm waiting for the backstab.
Right.
It's
Or
coming.
just the orchestration, right? Like maybe she's setting him up to be a patsy. Like who knows? You have to stay tuned. Let's hand out some awards. because y'all deserve some rewards for your role play.
Yes,
Yeah,
rewards.
let me reward you with some fate points.
Sweet rewards.
Let us begin with Joy.
I got one fate this game.
You got a fate
'Cause
for.
I'm working towards killing Yorick Booker.
That's right. That's right. Deal with York Booker.
That's it. Next session, I'm ready. I'm primed.
Do it. Yeah.
Gonna kill him. I'm calling it. Next
Yeah,
session.
I mean, honestly, like you're doing the smart thing where you're like, I'm figuring out where he's business, whatever, like doing all this stuff, to position yourself for a less difficult role to actually poison him.
Basically, yeah.
Because you could on the first session have just been like, okay, I'm gonna streetwise go to his house and I'm gonna try to break in and strangle him in the night. But like,
See, but the thing is, I didn't make the poison, so it's gonna be good poison that does what it's supposed to, and I should be able to kill him with it. That was the whole plan.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I get a fate point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agata of the Dark Woods.
Okay, I think I at least accomplished my third belief. I know some of the goings on of the place and a vague sense of where I am, and I have gathered some information.
Yep.
I've worked towards turning Sister Sufferance's faith to my purposes.
I mean,
actually, no, because I was talking to the dude.
Yeah, you figured out a secret about her, but I don't think that. Yeah, I think now you can rewrite that belief because you have an angle on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a subtle change, whereas instead of her faith, it's her like history.
Yeah, her heritage.
Yeah. I tried to send a message to whatever friend I might have left.
Tried, rolled and failed, so you get fate for that.
So I'll take a fate.
Okay, so you're 2 and 2.
And then I keep speaking truth to power. It's a bad move. But I don't know.
But I mean, in this case, you didn't speak truth to power. You lied, right?
I did lie to them.
Yeah, speaking truth to power would be more like what's her name, Evie in V for Vendetta, just being like, no,
I will never.
Whatever you do,
yeah.
you can't stop. You can't change my mind. I'm my own person. Cool. Okay.
Well, although that is true, I will never tell it to them because then they'll stop trying.
That's right.
And then I will die, and that would be bad.
Yeah. Alessandra Corvide.
She's a character. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
A person?
That's who I would like to draw the attention to Alessandra Corvide as a character.
Okay. I started on my finding a way to resolve my financial affairs.
You did?
Obviously haven't stopped being indebted to Ludovic yet, so that's not done. So fate for that.
Yep.
I didn't talk to the king at all. I worked on beginning to recruit the Queen Circle with the Lady Treasurer. I also attempted to ingratiate myself with the Lady Treasurer. Did not go as planned.
Yeah. I wonder if that, like, there's. I want to give you fate for doing that for sure. I'm not sure. Like, you'll get it. I'm not sure what the angle is because I don't know that it was like you're not meeting someone new and ingratiating yourself. This is a person that's already like in your world.
Okay. It wasn't someone new. I've met her before.
Yeah. I feel like maybe ambitious. Like the idea here is that you only have the one tool sometimes, and you should not have used it, and you used it, and it went bad for you, but you still did it.
I want to, for that reason, nominate embodiment.
Yeah, that was
played your character incredibly well, and the deliberations were all very in character about all kind of spot on about whether your character would do this based on the traits and everything and the skills that you had access to. I think it was very good decision making.
Yeah, I would second that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, that makes more sense than you getting
So for
fate.
that scene and that interaction, it would be the embodiment instead of the fate.
Yeah, persona instead of fate because it was
So,
embodying. And I would suggest, looking at because that I personally find that very interesting. Whether you find it interesting about Lady Alessandra or not, but that idea of, and we've talked a little bit about this before, about like a woman raised to use her sexiness to get what she wants, but then being in situations where that doesn't work, and kind of like coming in conflict with that. I think that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Moving beyond the goals of like classic courtly lady shit of like getting a husband and all this shit into just like being a boss and needing to do all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would be a persona then?
Yeah, so I think you have 2 and 3.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
And then I only had the one scene really.
Mm-hmm.
None of my traits mucked things up.
Yeah. And I want to start the next episode with Alessandra, because I have a scene that I want to do with you. So remind me of that next time.
I'll try.
Okay. Ludwig.
Yep. I think I tried to work towards the first and third beliefs, but they're going to have to change instead of be completed.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you didn't solidify an accountant in that first one, so I don't know that you like work towards that. Like that one, there's the 2 parts that kind of invalidate. So I think definitely the third one. You get fate for that for sure.
Yes. No, I've scrolled up a little too high. I'd forgotten I had an extra whole half of belief.
Yeah. And I think that's.
I don't think anything else.
That's probably it. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Excellent. Well, good work, everybody. Thank you for another delightful episode of The Burning Wheel. Let's say bon voyage for now, and we'll play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Wait.
What?
Emilio had the right skill at the right time to make the story go.
Yeah, you want to nominate
Emilio fate?
Yeah, right skill, right time.
All right, Emilio.
It's true.
Nice.
It's true. No one else had it. Emilio had it.
Good catch, Bluge.
GM fate.
All right, Emilio, the hateful ludist.
Yep, gets a fate point.
Gets a fate point. Congratulations, Emilio.
That's gonna screw me over. I just have this.
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna use it on you. Don't you even worry about that shit.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll take it. All right, Elf, you wanna start us off?
Yes.
Where can we find you?
Good evening, or whatever time it is for you, everyone. I am Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf, where I hang out a lot and poison people who I disagree with or who I am told to poison. So, if you like poison,
if you like murder plots,
follow my stream.
Don't sell yourself short, Elf. You do so much more than just poisoning.
More than poisoning.
It's also stabbings,
murders,
unfortunate manure accidents,
and parapets, and explosive manure, and bow accidents. There's lots of assassinations. Anyway, follow my stream.
Feeling it. Excellent. Blue Jay, how about you?
Hi, my name is Blue Jay. I'm a bird. You can find me at twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712. And I need more medicine.
All right. Those 2 things I don't think are connected at all, but that's okay. Good stuff.
Everyone send Blue Jay medicine?
She lives in America. Support her stream so she can afford to buy medicine.
I live in America, and pretty soon I won't be able to afford to have the internet. So it's
Chief executive baller, Dave T. Human. Who do you want to go next?
Thank you. Yeah. Human. Thanks everybody for coming along and stuff. Like always. I'm already like pretty into this character, even though I've only played him for a couple of sessions now. He's pretty interesting. If you would like to do the follow on Twitter, you can at Dave__human. And should I do? Yep. We're gonna do some more. We're gonna do another stream tomorrow. So for anyone who was around for the 5e stuff that I did last week, I'll do it an hour earlier so we can get 2 hours in before we play D&D tomorrow.
Sweet.
So that's gonna be 6 o'clock GMT. So 1 EST or whatever, work out time zones. It's not my job, it's your job.
That's true. It is. Good work. Cool.
And
that's exciting.
Dave_human.
Nice. Thanks, Dave. Last but not least, trapped in a hole in the ground, surrounded by shadows, also plays the witch Agata. It's Andrew.
Yeah. Here, let me get this some spookier light here. There we go. And shadows close in on me. And so if anyone remembers that I exist, despite the various curses that have been levied upon me by dark spirits and my own bumbling with magic, you can find me at Commune & Crow on Twitter or twitch.tv/actualfactual. Lately, I've been painting minis and trying to get my tabletop role-playing game Girl by Moonlight to beta. It's very nearly there. And so you can tune in and watch me doing those things, and maybe, hopefully, at some point soon, playing more games with Elf, because we had a good run of doing Europe circa.
Yeah, we got some Hearts of Iron, more Hearts of Iron to play. Yeah,
it was a good time.
Gonna make this Japan run work.
So that's me.
Cool. Just like last time, my name is Adam Coble. You can find me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost, twitch.tv/Adam Coble. You can also find me GMing Dungeons and Dragons with these lovely people on Fridays over at twitch.tv/D&D.
So excited.
And yeah, I'm hyped to get back. We've got some cool stuff coming. I don't know if the full effect is going to be ready, but
Camp Mayonnaise.
We have some new hotness that I want to hopefully show off for you tomorrow. So I hope you tune in.
I got a book.
My hair was blessed by Astitia.
And and so we're gonna do that. That's a super fun D&D thing that you can check out. And if you like what you saw today, I hope you will pop on over to roll20.net and play your very own game, whether it is of the Hot Circle or any of the other exciting role-playing games that exist out there.
I recommend the Hot Circle.
I also recommend the Hot Circle. We will we'll be back with more of this action next time. See us tomorrow for D&D. Have a good one. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm going to hit the button. We're going to go. See you later. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net.